easier and feel better fast. Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click their icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. Severe weather tore through central Illinois on Monday, causing damage to a local school district. DeLand-Weldon School Superintendent Dr. Michael Tresnick explains that Monday's storm system tore the roof off part of the elementary school, leaving behind shattered skylights and multiple classrooms that suffered significant water damage. School was canceled for today, and the district will be utilizing e-learning on Wednesday as well.
We actually had a custodian here on duty that at night and called me and said that we had basically lost the roof. So he had taken cover in our basement. But on the one end of our elementary building, we think it was a tornado, but the National Weather Service hasn't come out. I hear they're coming out maybe this afternoon to assess. But one end of the elementary building, the membrane roof was completely ripped off. And then we had extensive water damage. We also have skylights on that end of the building, and they were broken out. So we have about 5-6 classrooms that at this point are not usable because of all the water damage. All the ceiling tiles are going to have to be replaced. A lot of lighting's going to probably have to be replaced. I will tell you that we will be e-learning tomorrow. We're working on getting computers out to everyone, but we will e-learn tomorrow. Then we'll try to make the decision after that as to what's going to be next. But we do have a goal to get open as fast as we can.
Dr. Tresnick says they were lucky the storm came in the evening and they did not have children in the building during the event. He adds that the district is prepared for situations like this due to the efficient alert system of the National Weather Service and the basement that can be utilized as shelter.
Well, the good news is we have a really nice facility here with a basement. And so, I mean, this storm came in at night. We had no activity, so no one was here except for one of our custodians. But if this had been during the day, and with the way the National Weather Service does things, we get good warning, and we have a siren really right outside, not really real close to the building. That siren goes off, we all know it. And we can get all of our kids to the basement, get all our staff to the basement, so we can be secure here if we take a tornado hit. So we're happy with that we have that. But like I said, I was very happy that this happened in the evening where we weren't having to, move kids into the basement. That actually causes a certain level of anxiety when you have to do that. But definitely we practice for that, and we have plans in place to handle that situation.
The district's goal is to be back to normalcy as quick as possible. Dr. Tresnick is grateful to the first responders, staff, and community members who have come to help in droves as they recover from the emergency.
Our goal is to be, like I said, back in session as soon as we can, and we can finish out the school year as normal. We know we're going to have to move some classrooms around in my administration, and I actually have teachers that volunteered and came in today, even though we closed today. I have teachers in here already, and we're moving classrooms to different parts of the building, repurposing rooms. It's been great. Actually, we had people in here last night. We put the call out on Facebook that we were going to be closed, and we had multiple fire departments that were helping out in the area that were here. We had staff members come in because we were trying to clear things out of the rooms as fast as we can, because we literally had water running through the ceilings onto the room, into the rooms. And so we were trying to grab everything we could out of those rooms while they were still dry, see what all we could save. So, the response from this community, it tells you how much they care and believe in what we're doing here at the DeLand-Weldon schools, and how much they cherish this facility and cherish this organization.
Mm-hmm.
So we really appreciate that. And we're going to, like I said, do everything we can to get ourselves open as fast as we can.
Dr. Tresnick feels for all the families and residents who also suffer damage to their properties during the storm. Keep up with the latest updates from DeLand-Weldon schools by visiting dwschools.org or by finding the district on Facebook. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, over 3,200 lives were lost in 2024 due to distracted driving. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Monticello Police Chief Rob Ross told the Heart Media Group that April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. While it may seem like just a quick text or a glance away from the road, it could be the cause of a very avoidable accident.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the low-hanging fruit on distracted driving is cell phones, people talking on them, people surfing the internet, checking emails. It's painful to watch some of that sometimes, just because we've had so many accidents, whether that be in town, on the highway, on the interstate, where distracted driving plays a big part in it. And you take your eyes off the road just for a couple seconds, you have probably 100 feet of road that you've traveled. And if something comes out in front of you, you absolutely have no chance to slow down. So we definitely try to really harp on people staying off the phones. But like I said before, distractions come in all shapes and sizes. We've seen people eating breakfast cereal while they're driving. I had to kind of take a double take at that, because it wasn't just like a box of cereal. It was the whole bowl, milk, the whole 9 yards. Doing makeup. It's really odd to see some of the things that distract people just in their daily driving.
While avoiding driving distracted is important year-round, the chief notes that with the weather warming up, there is a sharp increase in bicyclists, dog walkers, kids, and other pedestrians that you could not see while looking at your phone.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you're on your phone, checking an email, sending a text, we had one here a little bit ago that they were on Snapchat, either sending a video or something along those lines. If you take your eyes off that, off the road, you've traveled 2 or 3 blocks and you have no idea what happened in front of you. And it kind of goes back with old kids being out and about and pedestrians. If they're at a pedestrian crosswalk, the one that comes to mind is one we have from downtown, kind of by Legends Corner, one of our restaurants here in town. It's marked. It has flashing lights. If you're paying attention to Snapchat or a text message, as opposed to driving, you aren't going to see those lights flash and someone in the crosswalk, and you're going to hit them, and that's going to be disastrous for everyone. So 4-way stop right by McDonald's, and again, in the morning for a school drop-off and in the afternoon for a pickup, and especially lunch hour, that does get backed up quite a bit. So yeah, you definitely want to be able to pay attention to everything as opposed to looking down at your phone or anything else.
Chief Bross emphasized that distracted driving is unacceptable when children and their parents are out walking to and from school. The importance is only increased by the fact that kids are often not thinking about the dangers of crossing the road in an inappropriate place or without looking both ways.
Well, we definitely see, a lot more kids, now that it's, a little warmer in the mornings and especially in the afternoons. A lot more kids are walking to school, anywhere from, kindergarten, first grade, walking with their parents, all the way to junior high, and even some high school kids either walking or biking to school. So we definitely try to reach out to drivers and just say, be mindful of that. Obviously, school days are when it's really heavy, from 7 to about 8 or 8:30. And then dismissal anywhere from 2:30 to 4 o'clock is the high pedestrian traffic day. Bicycles out And then on the weekends, I mean, Saturday and Sunday, we have a lot of events either in the downtown area, people just walking around enjoying the day. The weekends are heavy too. So we just try to reach out, let people know that, pedestrians are out, it's getting nice, slow down. If you see some kids trying to cross, give them the right of way, stop, let them cross, make sure it's safe before you go on. It takes maybe, 15, 20, 30 seconds at most, and it keeps everyone safe. Makes life go a lot easier for everyone.
Distracted driving awareness doesn't stop after April, as Monticello and many central Illinois communities begin to kick off the season of outdoor activities. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Spring is in the air, so it's time to choose your new Silverado. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have a good selection of new Silverados with springtime savings and special finance rates. Choose from regular cabs, double cabs, or crew cabs in gas or diesel. We're also allowing extra money for your trade on all new Silverados this month. Silverado, together let's drive. See all our inventory at BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
News time is 20 minutes after the top of the hour. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Monday's severe weather has brought with it a slight cool down in central Illinois. Ed Shimon with the National Weather Service in Lincoln explains that we should see some rain in the late hours of last night. However, from there, things should become a little more peaceful. We will also see slightly lower temperatures than we have in recent weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, it looks like, for the most part, there's some showers again on Tuesday night. But really, once we get rid of that, then it's a banner rest of the week. The last half of the week shows sunny, partly cloudy, really, and then temps in the low to mid 60s, lows in the lower 40s, which is a little below normal, but, comfortable. I see one night, Friday night, in the upper 30s, which you see a 38 in there. Boy, that can sometimes allow a little bit of frost to form, but we don't think it's going to be a killing frost at this point, but, we'll keep an eye. But cool and comfortable during the day, and then we ramp up in the Sunday timeframe back into the lower 70s. So the weekend looks very nice as well.
Shimon explains that the drop in temperatures compared to early April is due to a shift in air pressure. Monday's low-pressure storm system has cleared the way for cool air from Canada to be pushed down to the Midwest.
Yeah, we got some Canadian air coming in. The high pressure behind this low-pressure storm system today and into Tuesday is going to be shifted east, and we're going to be replacing that with pretty dry, cool air that's sitting up over Canada. Still has some cool characteristics, and it's going to give us a nice, pleasant last half of the week and weekend. Our temperatures are averaging above normal by 6.5 degrees, which is a lot. We've had quite a few 80s this month, which is well above normal. And even some of the lows were in the low to mid 60s for lows, which is our normal high for the year or for this time of the month. So, we were pretty warm. We had a good dose of rain to start off. We had the first 4 days of the month give us almost 2 inches of rain. So that really took a bite out of the drought. And then we had, more rain in the middle of the month, another 2 inches of rain between the 15th and the 17th with that major severe weather event on the 17th and all those tornadoes. Then it's quieted down. We had, just here hitting this showers, nothing too bad the rest of the month. But 4.11 inches of rain is above normal by about 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. So we're above normal for the month, and the drought status is really gone at this point.
The on and off rain of the last month prompted Shimon to put out a call to join the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network, or COCORAS. This entails using a rain gauge to provide daily updates of the total rainfall at your home.
Absolutely, yeah. We are always looking for people to join our COCO RAS. It's Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, and Snow Network. So what you're basically doing is putting a rain gauge up in your yard in a preferable area away from buildings and trees as possible. And just reporting that every day, whether it's 0 because there's nothing, those are good too. We appreciate and need those in the system. But as rainfall or significant impactful weather occur, we have ways in that COCO RAS, COCORAHS, is cocoras.org. Join that program, and we are always needing more information on how heavy the rain falls, because sometimes one side of the street can have, a ton of rain, and then a block and a half over, there's not, and that kind of variability can only be captured with more and more people joining that program.
We'll have more with Shimon in the days ahead on the May outlooks for Central Illinois and the latest drought conditions, or lack thereof. Learn more at weather.gov/Lincoln or find the National Weather Service on Facebook and X. Data centers continue to garner plenty of attention, and it's something the Illinois Farm Bureau is addressing. Bill Bodine is the organization's Director of Business and Regulatory Affairs.
Our members implemented internal policy for us as an organization, both at the state level and the national level last year. And so we've got a policy guide on kind of what, how our members are viewing data centers and what some of the challenges are. And I'll characterize it, without going through all the details of it, I'll characterize it as being supportive of responsible development. And that includes, at the national level with AFBF policy, that includes things like supporting what are called large load tariffs or additional charges for very large data centers because of the costs they could bring to an electrical system, addressing water usage. And we have policy on that both at the federal level and at the state level. Things like requiring a water use plan to be developed for a data center, and then having that in the state of Illinois, having that potentially provided to the Illinois State Water Survey for the determination of any impacts. We raised some concerns about farmland preservation and the impact that not only are we seeing from renewable energy development, but now we're seeing additional impacts associated with the development of data centers or proposed data centers in rural areas. And so it's all kind of brought together, as I said, by this idea of just supporting responsible development of these data centers and the projects that are being proposed.
Earlier this month, Bodine testified at subject matter hearings in both the Illinois House and the Illinois Senate. If you are involved in local foods in the state, it's time to get listed on the Market Maker site, a local foods directory. If you're already listed, make sure your profile is up to date, says Illinois Farm Bureau Associate Director of Food Systems Development, Regella Scavuzzo.
And it's twofold. If you're not already listed, you need to go in and get listed. If you are listed, this is the time to go update that profile. I know it seems silly. What is this local food directory? Why do I have to waste time? Except for what's the beautiful system of Market Maker is we have built it with partners across the state. So you are basically getting free promotion across multiple platforms. You have everybody driving everybody to the statewide local food directory. And it's where it's on the Farm Bureau. It's in the Farm Bureau membership app if you are a member. It's on the Specialty Growers website. It's its own page. It's on the Land Connection. Feeding Illinois uses it. The Farm to School Network uses it. The Farmers Market Association uses it. Department of Agriculture uses it. And so it's this great way for you to be listed in multiple places and be found in an easy way. We tout it here. Remember to turn on affiliations. So those affiliations get you listed on different things for what you participate in. Make sure you have your store hours, how people can find you, what you're selling. Be robust. Give them that information so that they can find you. If you have a website, if you have Facebook, go ahead and add those because there's a shop online button that you can add in. If you don't have a store, there's the ability to add a store. You can make ads. So we have the buy-sell forum. So if you have product you're running long on or you're getting ready to launch, you can put those on the buy-sell forum, that specific product. And then that goes out to everybody listed in Market Maker. So it's a huge way for you to have really simple access to the internet and promote your business. And the beauty of it is it's free. It is free for all farm to food businesses. There's support for all of this. We're happy to help you. but the best success is having the most robust profile.
Visit foodmarketmaker.com to get registered. Now for your local obituaries. Cindy Martin, 76, of Clinton, passed away peacefully at 8:10 p.m. April 25th at her home in Clinton, surrounded by her loving family. Visitation will be 10 to 11:30 a.m. Friday, May 15th at Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton, followed by a celebration of Cindy's life for close friends and family at 12 noon at the Clinton Country Club. Memorials may be directed to the DeWitt County Fair Association. Galen D. Lichtenwalter, 95, of Clinton, passed away at 10:58 a.m. Friday, October 31st at Goldwater Care in Clinton. Graveside services will be 10:15 a.m. Monday, May 4th at Oak Park Cemetery in Clinton with Pastor Darrell Howard officiating. Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton is in charge of arrangements. Memorials may be directed to the Clinton United Methodist Church. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device from DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. It's DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news is now.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Former FBI Director James Comey proclaims his innocence after being indicted for allegedly advocating the assassination of President Trump. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says no one, regardless of their status or station in life, can do this kind of thing. Yesterday it was Washington. Today we'll find Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla in New York City. They'll meet with first responders and victims' families at the 9/11 memorial. Mineral Wells, Texas, about 45 miles west of Fort Worth, has been hard hit by powerful storms, sent at least 2 people to the hospital, high winds damaging homes and businesses. Gas prices continue to climb, rising to a national average of $4.22 a gallon, according to the AAA. Dow futures up 14 points. NASDAQ futures 96 points higher. More details, srnnews.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that consolidated all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5496.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-936-5496.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Routt Catholic set the tone early and never let up, defeating Mount Pulaski 3-0 with timely hitting and dominant pitching in high school baseball non-conference action on Tuesday. The Rockets got on the board in the bottom of the first when Brady Turner tripled to right field, bringing home Bryson Mossman for a 1-0 lead. They added another run in the third as Turner stayed hot with a double to right, scoring Taylon Thompson to make it 2-0. Routt put the finishing touch on the game in the sixth inning when Anson Butcher launched a solo home run to right field, extending the lead to 3-0. Mount Pulaski had a few opportunities, collecting 5 hits in the game, but couldn't capitalize. Preston Cohen, Luke Martin, Jaden Jackson, Tyler Cross, and Tucker Fitzpatrick each recorded a hit in the loss. On the mound, Jacob Brown was in complete control for Routt Catholic. He threw a complete game shutout, allowing just 5 hits while striking out 7 and walking 1. The Illinois State baseball program secured a 13-6 win over Iowa Tuesday evening at Dwayne Banks Field. The Redbirds improved to 27-17 overall with the victory and extend its winning streak to 5 games. Peyton McHarg headlined the Redbirds offense with his first 3-hit game as a Redbird and added his first 3 RBI effort in Illinois State colors. Braden Bakes added 3 hits, including 2 doubles in the Redbirds win. Bakes added 2 RBIs in the performance and has tallied 12 RBIs in his last 5 games. Camden Karchewski and Luke Stolga notched 2 hits and an RBI each to become the 3rd and 4th Redbirds to tally a multi-hit performance in the contest. Louis Boussard recorded a new career-high RBI total with a team-best 4 RBIs in the victory. Iowa struck first with a run on an RBI ground out in the bottom of the first to take a 1-0 lead. The Hawkeyes later added another run in the second on a Redbird wild pitch to extend its early lead to 2-0. In the third, the Redbirds loaded the bases with a pair of walks from Broussard and Bakes and a double from McHarg. Moments later, Michael Carano Jr. drew a walk to the plate, Illinois State's first run in the contest to make it 2-1. With a run on the board, the Redbirds continued their momentum into the fourth with a pair of walks to open the frame. Illinois State later capitalized on an Iowa error to tie the contest at 2-all. After McHarg was hit by a pitch to load the bases, Bakes delivered with an infield single to score and give the Redbirds a 3-2 advantage. Iowa responded in the home half of the fourth by loading the bases with a pair of hits and a walk. The Hawkeyes later drew a hit by pitch to plate a run and even the contest at 3-all. A frame later, following a single and a pair of hit batters, Iowa loaded the bases and drew a walk to reclaim the lead 4-3. In the sixth, Eric Machej walked and moved into scoring position as McHarg delivered an RBI single to even it at 4-all. With the score tied and momentum in favor of the Redbirds, Illinois State's offense sparked as the first 3 batters singled to open the inning. With the bases loaded, Karchewski singled to score Carano Jr. and reclaimed the 5-4 lead. Louis Boussard followed Karchewski's effort with a 2 RBI double to right center and make it 7-4. Illinois State continued to rally with a double down the left line from McHarg to add a pair of runs and move the Redbirds' lead to 9-4. Bakes tallied the third Redbird double of the frame to score McHarg and extend it to 10-4. In the eighth, Illinois State moved a runner into scoring position as Josh Outlaw drew a walk and advanced to third on a single from Karchewski. With an RBI ground out from Boussard, the Redbirds grew their lead to 11-4. Machej added another run in the frame with an RBI double to make it 12-4. The Hawkeyes tried to claw back in the eighth after placing 2 runners on with a walk and a single. Iowa pulled a pair of runs back with a 2 RBI single to cut it to 12-6. In the ninth, following a Bakes double, Luke Stolga drove in the Redbirds' 13th run with an RBI single to make it 13-6. As the Redbirds led, Jackson Nanatek entered and tallied a strikeout with a pair of flyouts to secure the Illinois State victory. The Fighting Illini secured an 11-7 midweek win over Roosevelt on Tuesday night at Illinois Field. An 8-run 7th inning proved the difference, while Sam Mommer tossed 3 scoreless frames in relief en route to his 3rd victory of the season. Mommer registered a career-high 5 strikeouts across the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. Ike Young got the start, striking out 4 in his 3 innings. At the plate, Kyle Shupman went 3 for 5, while Colin Jennings was 1 for 2 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Jack Zebig went 1 for 3 and plated 2 runs. With the Lakers holding a lead through 6 innings, the Orange and Blue plated 8 in the home half of the 7th while sending 12 batters to the plate. Mommer closed out the win with back-to-back zeros in the 8th and 9th to seal the Illini's victory. Drew Romo hit the first 2 home runs of his career, 1 from each side of the plate, as the Chicago White Sox beat the skidding LA Angels 5-2 on Tuesday night. Colson Montgomery homered in the second off Angel starter Jose Soriano, ending his shutout streak at 25 2/3 innings. The right-hander gave up 3 runs and 6 hits over 5 innings, raising his major league leading ERA from 0.24 to 0.84. Davis Martin outpitched Soriano, allowing 1 run and 7 hits in 5 2/3 innings. Martin struck out 7 and walked 1. Sean Newcomb fanned 3 1/3 scoreless innings, and Sir Anthony Dominguez worked a hitless ninth for his 7th save. Josh Lowe homered, and Joe Adel had an RBI single for the Angels, who have lost 5 straight and 9 of 10. The 24-year-old Romo called up Saturday from AAA Charlotte, connected left-handed off Soriano for a 2-run homer in the 4th that gave Chicago a 3-1 lead. The switch-hitting catcher went deep again in the 6th, a solo shot to center field from the right side off lefty reliever Brent Suter. Minataka Murakami scored to make it 5-1 in the 7th when Sam Antonacci was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. White Sox outfielder Everson Pereira left the game with right shoulder soreness after taking an awkward swing. The team said he is day-to-day. Chicago goes for the 3-game sweep on Wednesday afternoon. Eric Fetty starts for the White Sox against Yusei Kikuchi. The White Sox are back on WHOW on Thursday when they play the first of a 3-game series with the San Diego Padres. Pre-game starts at 8 p.m. Nolan Gorman homered and drove in 3 runs, and Alec Burleson and Jordan Walker drove in 3 runs apiece to lead the St. Louis Cardinals to an 11-7 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates on Tuesday night. J.J. Weatherholt and Ivan Herrera, the top 2 hitters in the Cardinals' batting order, scored 3 runs each. Burleson, Walker, and Mason Wynn each finished with 2 hits. Gorman opened the scoring with a homer leading off the second, his 4th of the season. Victor Scott II started a 2-run second with his first home run of the season before Weatherholt doubled and scored on a single by Walker. The Cardinals extended their lead to 6-0 in the 5th when Burleson doubled in a run, and Walker and Gorman followed with consecutive sac fly balls. Kyle Leahy allowed 3 runs and 9 hits on 5 1/3 innings with 7 strikeouts. The Pirates scored all 3 runs in the 6th on homers by O'Neal Cruz and a 2-run shot by Ryan O'Hearn, cutting their deficit to 6-3. The Cardinals broke the game open with 3 runs in the 7th inning and 2 in the 8th. The Cardinals have won the first 2 games of the 4-game series after entering on a 4-game losing streak. The Pirates have lost 3 in a row for the first time this season. Braxton Ashcraft was rocked for 6 runs and 4 1/3 innings after being activated from the bereavement or family medical emergency list before the game. He allowed 6 hits, struck out 7, and walked 3. Pirates rookie Connor Griffin hit a solo homer in the 9th inning. O'Hearn had 2 hits and 3 RBIs, and Nick Gonzalez had 2 hits and knocked in 2 runs. Cardinals righty Andre Palante starts on Wednesday night against rookie right-hander Bubba Chandler. Pete Crow Armstrong hit a 3-run homer, and the Chicago Cubs beat the San Diego Padres 8-3 on Tuesday night to stop their 3-game slide. Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner each had a 2-run double for the Cubs. Edward Cabrera pitched 5 2/3 innings, allowing 3 runs and 6 hits while striking out 7. Chicago relievers Holby Milner and Ryan Rollison combined for 3 1/3 hitless innings. Xander Bogaerts launched a solo homer for San Diego. Ty France and Luis Campusano each had an RBI single. Padres reliever Kyle Hart took the loss. With the Cubs leading 5-3 in the 7th, Crow Armstrong clubbed a 410-foot drive to center field off a center-cut changeup from reliever Wandy Peralta for his 2nd homer this season. The score was tied at 2 in the 6th when Horner hit a line to center off reliever David Morgan to drive in Nicky Lopez and Crow Armstrong. San Diego starter Walker Buehler gave up a 2-run double to center by Swanson in the 2nd. Swanson was removed at the shortstop in the bottom half due to a left glute cramp. Buehler lasted 4 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs and 3 hits while striking out 4. Chicago's Ian Happ walked in the 2nd, extending his on-base streak to 20 games. Padres manager Craig Stamen left in the middle of the game to attend a funeral. Bench coach Randy Knorr finished managing the game and will be the acting manager for Wednesday's game. Cubs right-hander Jamison Talon faces righty Matt Waldron in the finale of the 3-game series on Wednesday. In MLB scores from yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Cleveland Guardians 1-0, while the Baltimore Orioles took down the Houston Astros 5-3. The Cincinnati Reds beat the Colorado Rockies 7-2, while the Philadelphia Phillies shut out the San Francisco Giants 7-0. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Boston Red Sox 3-0, while the New York Mets took down the Washington Nationals 8-0. The Atlanta Braves beat the Detroit Tigers 5-2, while the Milwaukee Brewers routed the Arizona Diamondbacks 13-2. The Seattle Mariners beat the Minnesota Twins 7-1, while the New York Yankees beat the Texas Rangers 3-2. The Kansas City Royals beat the Athletics 4-1 in 10 innings, while the Miami Marlins beat the LA Dodgers 2-1. In NBA postseason scores from yesterday, the 7th seed Philadelphia 76ers beat the 2-seeded Boston Celtics 113-97, while the 3-seeded New York Knicks beat the 6th-seeded Atlanta Hawks 126-97, and the 2-seeded San Antonio Spurs beat the 7th-seed Portland Trailblazers 114-95. In NHL playoff action from yesterday, the Boston Bruins beat the Buffalo Sabres 2-1 in overtime, while the Minnesota Wild took down the Dallas Stars 4-2, and the Edmonton Oilers beat the Anaheim Ducks 4-1. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.